Welcome everyone to another episode of the Train Studio. I'm your host, Sean Morris. Today on the Train Studio update, just updating the 28mm project once again. I think this will be part 22 or 23, and just bringing you guys up to speed with what I did last night. Sorry I didn't get another video up last night. I was just waiting for some items to dry before I could really move around, so I just thought I'd do the filming this morning just before I get back cracking on the work. So last night what I did is, as promised, I went ahead and affixed the edging to the board, and I think you'll agree that it really sets the table off, really gives it a nice clean look. And what it does is it actually draws the eye to the table. So, it covered up that unsightly wood, foam exposed sections, and a little bit of the plaster on the end and things, and just really cleaned up the whole edge. And I think you guys will agree that it looks 100% better. Again, on all the edges here and the back edge and all the way around the other side, it's all sort of covered up. And it does two things. One, cleans up the edge and gives it a nice unified look for the edge. And it also goes ahead and covers over any of the uneven surfaces. So, like for example, there was a little cavity in behind this bridge because the bridge doesn't go right up to the edge. So what that does, it helps cover over that. Again, I just sort of tied in some elements. I left one post kind of shining over there, and a little bit of a creep over here. Likewise, I'll probably do over here. I decided to go ahead and fix this just so I would have that sort of whole process complete. What's next for that is I have some plastic styrene corners. They're actually just drying over there, and I'm going to go ahead and affix them right here on the corners just to give it a little bit of added strength and have it so that the edge can't be picked away, and just really give it a finished look, a little bit cleaner. It's more aesthetics, but it has some functionality as well. The bridge itself is not glued in yet, but it will be glued in today. I did finish up the central portion of the road, and the reason I didn't glue in the bridge is I just wanted to figure out exactly where I'm going to have the stuff creep over, and I think I'm going to go ahead and lay the grass in here. I really need your guys' help with this section right here, which I'll talk about, and then hopefully you guys can give me a solid response on that, and then I'm going to go ahead and proceed with sort of what you guys think is going to look good. I have some ideas, so I'll run those by you, and then we'll have another chat about what's going to actually occur in there once the figs get here. I also think I'm going to lay a little bit of debris, a little bit of leaf litter just on the edge of the bridge to break up a little bit of that, because I got a lot of stone there, but I think I'm going to put a little bit of detritus, and that's also going to be tied through here, just signifying this tree in the past kind of thing, losing its leaves, or even some of this stuff here kind of getting wind blown and sort of blown up onto the bridge. The pathway here, I was speaking to somebody and they had suggested that unless it's a heavily traveled path, it's still going to have the grass all the way down. So I went with a compromise. I left a few empty patches, but mostly I went with the tufts all the way down. And then underneath this central portion right here, I went with all browns, because as you can see, it's really going to get a shadow cast regardless of which direction the light's coming from. So I went with a solid use of brown here, and then a little bit of yellows, but very little green kind of in that center portion. So like I said, got a busy portion going on over here. Over here we're going to have the tank sort of silhouetted up on that, so we kind of have that central portion that's visible to that. Over here we're going to have a little bit of busyness, obviously, in the fenced in section. The house itself is going to have some some guys in there kind of doing their thing, and then down viewing from sort of this direction, it's going to be, you got something going on from all directions. So here you have kind of the guys in the house, but at the same time visible to the bridge. Looking from this way on, you're going to have the same sort of thing. You're going to have the bridge, but you're going to have the opposite side, and then you're going to have the front of the house. And then here you're going to have the back side of the house, but you're also going to have the guys that are going to be down here in the lower portion. So like I said, it's got something going on from every angle, which is interesting, and that's kind of the design of the whole project. That's first I went with perspective, and then I kind of added the elements to view afterwards. So that was kind of the thought process for this. But in speaking about thought process, let's just talk about this area right here that I'm going to need your responses on. So lots of your response be great. A lot of people have been keeping up with the project, you know, commenting almost every video. I'm not sure if my buddy Canvas is still checking out the parts. I haven't seen a comment from him in a while, but you know, he might have got tied up with Christmas and all that good stuff. But a lot of people have been putting in comments and appreciate it, and you guys are following the project, which is stellar, because that's kind of another reason I like doing videos. Okay, so what do we got going on here? Right now, basically, the only thing I have is the fence. That's not negotiable, and this tree, which I rather not make move. So it's there, and then we have the downspout over there, and then we have this chimney section. And like I said, I have this little extra section here. I went ahead and put some plastic art in both those parts. I want to use that as a magnetization point, but then I have this little gap right here. So one of the alternatives that I was thinking about was this. I had built this scratch built window box yesterday. I went ahead and I found some flower box designs online, and then I replicated that in wood, and again built it like an actual construction piece. So individually cut all those slats to go in there, and then I just, you know, added some grays on there to kind of weather it up a little bit, and then the plants and stuff can grow over and above the edge. But what that does is, and it's not, I didn't affix it, so it's not 100% guaranteed to be used, but it fits right around there quite nicely. And then what it does, it doesn't eliminate a lot of the space here, like it still gives me lots of room, but it goes ahead and covers that area there. And I was also thinking about adding some tomato trellises here. They could be attached to the house, and actually when the house plugs in, it will actually complete the look. But I thought I could do some veggies kind of in there, and that, or somebody said no flowers but only veggies, but I'm just going to pop the tree out so you guys can see. That's an option. Like I said, it just finishes off that edge and gives a little splash of color up here, and it gives me more room to work in here. I think some people thought this was going to be all garden, and that might look good, but the only problem is if I was going to do a path, I would have very little room to actually do a garden in here. There's a chance of doing a small garden patch, but the problem is if I do it too close to the door, it doesn't really make sense that the door would swing in. If I do it kind of here, then I basically have to figure out a way to gap kind of, I don't know if they grow their veggies right next to the house or not. So that's kind of a way I figured, you know, they could grow some veggies in here, and it's kind of, given the tight space, they probably wouldn't put a plot in, but that gives them a way to kind of grow their stuff. Another thing that I went ahead and did is I made a little, it's hard to focus on that, I guess, a little stack of wood. So that's just on a piece of plastic card. So it's actual wood, and then I just weathered up the ends, and I figured that would be kind of a cool, and you know, it's got some moss and stuff on there to signify it's been there a little while. So that might be an option, you know, maybe putting it in along the wall there. If I went ahead with that, then what I would also do is I would use this right here. It's a stump with an axe in it, and it's done properly to scale. So that might be, you know, I could have that actually maybe here, and that could have, you know, been the previous tree that was kind of there, and they're kind of clearing out that space, you know, left a tree kind of thing and chopped down another one, so to speak. I know the well may be too big in there, but I kind of like it, and I'm not really sure if it'll fit or not, but there's an option to go with the well like up here, and you know, it kind of makes sense with the water source kind of down there. Given the space, you still have enough room to open up that, but you could always suggest that the well was there first and they had to kind of build the fence around it, and it really kind of, I would be able to create a little space right here, a little bit of worn ground, kind of to signify the travel to and from the well, and then I could just extend that path kind of snaking through here and off. Another option is I could go with the well sort of under the tree. The only problem with that is it really blocks this whole line of sight, the point of view, so I'm not really sure if that would be the option. The other option obviously is to go with no well at all, but then I'm just curious with what I would do in this space. I mean, I can have the pathway coming, but then it would just be grass, and maybe that is the option. I'm going to have a little bit of an open space here, kind of where the person's been working, if I choose to go with the wood and the axe. Another option is I got a little ladder. I thought about putting that kind of just leaning up into the tree. You know, the guy might be up there hacking off limbs off the trees. I have a couple barrels that I was thinking about putting here, kind of against the wall, and then I had a bucket as well. It's really small to see, but it's a bucket there. So if I went with the well as an option, I know there's a bucket on that, but I could have a secondary bucket as well. You know, they're carrying the water kind of into the space. So this is just a mock-up here of the actual space. So this is what I have to work with. So given all those options, you know, well, wood stack, barrels, that sort of stuff. Maybe you guys can come up with some great ideas about how to put that in there, and feel free to share those with me. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. It's getting a little long, but I'll wait for your ideas, and I will take them in consideration when I plan out this section. So thanks for watching. Cheers.